Thank you for joining us from Houston, where today thousands of mourners lined up for hours in the heat here at the Fountain of Praise Church, wearing masks and waiting to pay their respects to George Floyd.
I'm grateful to Vanessa and the Bryant family for the opportunity to speak today. I'm grateful to be here to honor Gigi and celebrate the gift that Kobe gave us all.
A holdout, quote unquote, okay, it's not really one, but that's the best way to sum it up. But long term, doesn't make sense. Does not make sense for the Cowboys and for Dak Prescott. So
good morning. It is 6/12/2020, Friday afternoon. My name is K.Estrada. I want to welcome everybody to Felony Radio. I want to bring up that this is our one of two programs that we'll be coming out with on Felony Radio. This is Estrada Radio. We'll be talking about different things that I like personally. We'll get into the Cowboys, NFL, social matters like the George Floyd death and the social distance, social justice. We'll get into a lot of different topics. Also, I want you to check out the Fabe&Abe podcast coming out every Saturday around 6 o'clock. We'll be uploading on YouTube. My friend Abraham's a great guy, very knowledgeable when it comes to sports, NFL, very knowledgeable when it comes to social issues. Great pickup that we got here on Felony Radio. Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to start off by talking about the Cowboys. We're going to get into the schedule. We're going to get into their off-season acquisitions, who we had to let go. It's a lot of different topics to get into with the Cowboys and that Dak Prescott and, man, that Jerry Jones. With the Cowboys have a new head coach. Out goes the Ginger Clapper, Jason Garrett. In comes Mike McCarthy. 13 years experience, one Super Bowl win with Aaron Rodgers. Been out of coaching for a while. Obviously he's back in with the Cowboys. We found some kind of value in him or we wouldn't have got him. We also have a new defensive coordinator in Mike Nolan. Never heard of him. I'm hoping that he's pretty decent. And we still have the same offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore. So we'll see what this new offense can do with Kellen Moore not being hand-tied. He'd be able to release his new weapons that he has. We re-signed Amari. We picked up Clinton Dix on defense. We're pretty stout. There's no reason for this team to go 8-8 again. There's no reason at all. If we get Dak signed and we have a new culture, of course, that Mike McCarthy is supposed to be bringing to this program, then hopefully that we can get rid of that burden of just being average every year, damn near, since we won our last Super Bowl, which is a damn shame. The good thing about it is that we picked up Andy Dalton. Has massive experience playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. I think he's a caliber starting quarterback in the National Football League, and it's good to have him on the bench. Hell, I'm even willing to say, hell, he could start if he wants to. Something. As much as I love Dak, there's a reason why we're 8-8. Whether it was Jason Garrett or it was just the culture or it was the quarterback. We really don't know. We know it's not Zeke. We know it's not Amari. We know it's not the defense. If you give that defense time to rest and stay off that field, and they were pretty elite. We did lose a couple of important free agents. Byron Jones ended up signing with Miami for a ridiculous deal. But he deserves it. We ended up losing a couple of members off the defensive line as well. I think Fredericksburg retired, our Pro Bowl center. We have a lot to prove this year. Okay, let's jump right in. Let's get into our roster for the 2020 season. We'll start off with the quarterbacks. We have Dak Prescott, 83 rating. Backup, of course, is Andy Dalton coming over from Cincinnati. We also have a nice young kid named Clayton Thorson. Hopefully he's able to do something in the preseason to show us a little something that shows that we have a little depth in the quarterback position. We go down to Ezekiel Elliott, of course, the number one spot when it comes to our running backs. We still have Tony Pollard that we picked up last year as a rookie last year. Did a great job for us coming out of Memphis. We also have Jordan Chun. Never heard of him, but I'm hoping he's an elite running back. I'm really hoping he is. We'll move on to our fullback. We have James Olai. Really good blocker. Great pass protection. On our wide receiver setup, we have Amari, 88 rating. That should be a little higher, of course. Michael Gallup, 81 rating. That's about right for him. Vintel Bryant showed his ass last year. I really appreciate that young man. Giovanni Johnson. We'll see what he does. He's 6 foot, 160 pounds. Hopefully he's able to do something. Actually 215 pounds. We also have Tevin Jones. We have Stephen Goldry and Cedric Wilson. And of course, we just picked up the fabulous wide receiver out of Oklahoma, CeeDee Lamb. We'll move on to our tight ends. We've lost Jason Witten, thank God. That slow ass old school locomotive. He had hands, but this man could not move anymore. And I'm glad to see he picked up his career somewhere else. He wasn't finished playing, so hell, go somewhere else and do something. I think he's gonna be in Las Vegas with John Gruden with the Raiders. So we have Dalton Schultz also as well, Blake Bell, and Sean McCaney. We're pretty loaded on the tight end position. Our center, of course, like I said, we lost Frederick Byrd, so we have Tyler Blattis, Marcus Henry. On the offensive guard, we have Zach Martin, still Pro Bowl, soon to be Hall of Famer. I'm hoping. Leon Collins, Brandon Knight, Mitch Hyatt, Connor McGovern, Joe Looney, Cody Wichman, Adam Redmond, Tyron Smith, and of course that boy from UT, Connor Williams. So we'll see what happens there with the offensive line. We'll move on over to our DTs. We have Gerald McCoy, Anton Wood, Tristan Hill, Garrett Marino, Neville Gallimore, DeMarcus Lawrence, soon to be Hall of Famer. We signed him to a massive deal this offseason. So we're hoping that he picks up and shows improves and be elite for the rest of the year. We also have Tyrone Crawford. He's still here. Great anchor on our defensive line. Definitely need him on our defensive end to take care of our business. We have a couple of other ones that we're not going to really go through. I don't really recognize any of these names. I have to get more familiar with them. We'll move on to our linebackers. We still have Leighton Vander Esch, soon to be Hall of Famer. Of course, you're going to see me say that a lot. I'm a big Cowboys fan. And in the tradition of great linebackers, Sean Lee, Dak Wynn, it goes way back. We've had some great linebackers, and I think he's going to fit the mold just perfectly. Also, we have Jalen Smith, Hall of Famer. Once again, horrific knee injury at Notre Dame, and in the Senior Bowl. On top of that, really tragic what happened, but he ended up recovering. Dallas believed in him, had faith in him, put him through some pretty high level rehab, and look what happens. Look what happens when your team invests in you. Look what happens when they see your talent and they invest in you. This kid had no choice. He had a dead leg. I think they called it a dead leg, a dead foot. He had no nerve feeling at all on his knee after he blew it out. Cowboys stuck with him, sent him to extreme rehab, took good care of him. And he showed his ass. And guess what? They ended up paying this kid. I believe it was 5 years, somewhere around there. Great payday for that young man. I'm sure Vander Esch is right behind him picking that up. We also will go on, see what else we got going down here. We got Jalen Smith. We have Luke Guilford. And, of course, the old veteran Sean Lee. I'm not sure if he's going to retire or not. I'm not sure if he's still with the squad. We also have Joe Thomas as a linebacker, Francis Bernard. Let's get into our DBs since we lost some key players on with our DBs. We have a Awuzie we picked up, I believe, 2 years ago. His rating's at 84, so he's right there amongst the pack of great DBs in the league. So I'm hoping he can keep that up or even improve with this new defensive coordinator that we picked up. We have Daryl Worley. Salvon Smith, Jordan Lewis, Maurice Kennedy, Anthony Brown. Solid player on our secondary. Let's move on to our safeties. We have Xavier Woods. He showed his ass. He's an 80 rating, which means he's right there amongst the elite safeties in the league. Daryl Thompson, he's a 70 rating, but he's gonna be backing up Woods, so hopefully he'll pick up from some good play from Woods. And we also have a free safety. I think he's a dynamic player, and we're lucky to pick him up. I was really shocked that the Cowboys actually picked this kid up, because we just don't have a great reputation of picking up good players on defense. We picked up Clinton Dix, which is he was really familiar through the new head coach who had coached him with the Green Bay Packers. So he kind of knows him and probably get good motivation off of him. Backing up will be Devon Wilson. And so that's really it. That's really about it as far as what's going on with our roster. Our depth charts is basically the same thing I was telling you. Tony Pollard will be backing up Ezekiel. Let's get straight into our roster. Let's get straight into our schedule, man. Let's get to some good stuff. Let's get straight into it. We're going to skip the preseason, and let's get straight into some good stuff as far as our who we'll be playing this year. We'll start off with the Los Angeles Rams. 9-7 last year. Woo, what a drop off from the previous 2 years when they were heading towards the Super Bowl and doing major things with under McVay. Now it seems like they just fell off the cliff. They're not having much confidence in their quarterback. They're talking a lot. Maybe he's a system quarterback. We'll see. Of course, Gurley's gone. He went to Atlanta. The defense is still elite, of course. So we'll see what's going on with them. So we play them first, being the Rams, and then after the Rams we have Atlanta. It's a tough game, and our schedule is tough, buddy. We have Seattle coming in on September 27th. We have Cleveland. I'd like to see what Baker's going to do against our Cowboys. We have the Giants October 11th. We'll see what the boy Jones can do against our Cowboys. We'll go to Arizona. Oh, man, that boy Murray. And they just picked up Hopkins, so we'll see what's going on there. Washington, I'm curious about Washington. I'm gonna see what they're gonna do in their quarterback room. They still have my boy Cole, and Smith is actually talking about trying to just try out and see. He's still on the roster, but he wants to see if he can still do it. And of course, we have the young kid coming out of Ohio State, who really didn't get a good opportunity thanks to Jay Gruden just trying to diminish his career. He should be out of the league for systemic racism his damn self. Okay, let's move on. After that, we have Philly, our inter-squad rival of the NFC East. Then we have our Pittsburgh Steelers. I haven't seen Ben play in 2 years. I don't think anybody has really 2 years. See if Ben still has it and can do something this year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then we of course have our bye week. When we get off our bye week, we're in trouble. We jump straight into Minnesota, at Minnesota. After that, we have Washington again. We'll be wiping them up after being pissed off and getting beat by Minnesota. Then we go into Baltimore, and we'll be pissed off after losing to Baltimore and go in there and beat Cincinnati's ass with their new quarterback, the kid out of LSU. And then we go to San Francisco. Man, this is a second half stretch. Let me repeat the second half stretch after the bye week. Minnesota, Washington, Baltimore, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Philadelphia, the Giants. So let's see. 1, 2. I see 2 guaranteed wins out of that second half of the season. So we really better double up on our first half of the season. Hold up. Looks like we have a call in. We have our special guest, Abe. What's going on, Abe? One of the founding members of Felony Radio. He also is a co-host on Fabe&Abe's podcast. We'd like to welcome him to the show. What's going on with you, Abe?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just hanging around right now. Checking out current events, trying to see what's going on with the boxing world as well.
Oh, shit, the boxing world. That's beautiful. Let's step into the Cowboys, then we'll get into the boxing world if you don't mind. What do you think about Mike McCarthy getting signed on with the Cowboys? And what do you think he's going to do as far as the culture with the Cowboys?
You should do well there. He does come from a winning culture. He's won the Super Bowl. He knows how to handle big personalities, maybe big egos, like with Aaron Rodgers, he had him there that whole time. So I'm pretty sure, there might be some big personalities, egos in Dallas. But as far as him handling that, we'll see how that goes. I think he's a good fit for them, though.
Yeah, I honestly think that's one of the reasons why he got ran out of Green Bay. And it's going to be a benefit to us initially. I think he got ran out of Green Bay because of his smothering, controlling attitude. And that's exactly what we need. We need some kind of culture change, some kind of consistency in the head coach instead of somebody patting them on their ass every time they fuck up. Let's get in their ass and make sure they get it right the first time type things. And I think that's what Mike McCarthy's going to bring to the table. He also brought in one of his old players with Clinton Dix. Good acquisition on our defensive backfield. What do you think about that?
I think he's perfect. They do need that. They got great linebackers already. The DBs were a little suspect. They got burned a little too much last year.
Byron's gone to Miami now.
Yeah, and it looked like some of them were giving up on plays a little too early back there too. So when they got somebody like that, a veteran coming in who knows how to do the work, and he's also coming from a winning team also. So that should strengthen that backfield up, that secondary. As far as the line, we'll see how that works out for them. Maybe that'll help the line out as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Brown and Awuzie is going to have to step up since Byron Jones has left. And along with Aha, we should be pretty solid. I looked at their ratings, and all of them are around 80 to 84. So that puts them right along the league's minimum or maximum as far as the average play in the league. So I'm guessing if they're coached up, maybe there'll be a step up or a percentage up from where they were last year.
Oh yeah, that should help them out right there. That should help them out big time because we still need to see what the offense is going to do as far as that goes with Prescott and everything going on and his contract issues, if there are issues.
It's funny you had brought that up. It's funny you brought that up. I had just seen a headline. Is Dalton here to help or competition? What's your opinion on that?
He's going to be there to help. He's not going to be competition. We know who the starter is. There's no argument. It's basically like starting the season and the preseason. They're wondering, everybody's wondering who's going to be started. Well, we know who the starters are already. It's not even a competition. He should be there to help. He should bring a veteran presence, and maybe Prescott can take a few cues off of him and seeing how he handled running the team before. He's older. He can ask them questions. Yeah, maturity value, experience value.
Exactly. Andy's first to 5-6 years in the league, he was damn near elite. He was moving up. I think it's bad coaching and bad situations, and Marvin Lewis. It's enough to ruin a career. Right, I think he right along with Fisher, Jay Gruden, and Marvin Lewis all should be banned for social injustice, even though he's black. There's horrible things they did to quarterbacks.
Yeah, for sure. Just Cincinnati is a damn organization in general. They just aren't good. Bad enough you got to have the Steelers and the Ravens in your division, and you're going up against them twice every year. But now, you're already at the bottom of the barrel as far as the football world is concerned. It is terrible. Who knows what this youngster's going to do there in Cincinnati now. That's probably the next guy in line to get his career ruined.
Yeah, the kid out of LSU.
Yeah,
we'll see what he does to see if he stays as accurate as he was in college. coming off probably the best single season in collegiate history. But let's transition, since we got you on the phone. We'll transition. You said, talked to you last night. You said you was going to sit down and have a beer and sit down and watch a little bit of some boxing. Was it Top Rank? Who was featured in the boxing?
So they're mixing it up in there. You know, the ESPN's getting it cranked up. Looks like they got a. They basically look like they are Top Rank, or they're representing Top Rank. You know, maybe they have a little deal signed with each other, because ESPN is all of it is pretty much Top Rank boxing. You know, so anybody on ESPN is somebody's going to be, or they're both of the fighters going to be, you know, representing Top Rank. But yeah, I'm interested to see what's going on with this Fury and Joshua deal. I heard a while ago that I think Wilder and Fury were going to get it on again. I'm not sure about that though, but I was like, yeah, I'm tired of that already.
Yeah, I'm wore out on that one. I'm ready for Fury and Joshua. I think, to be honest with you, I don't have much faith in either one of them, but I lean on Fury a little bit more when it comes to Joshua. I've seen Joshua. He shouldn't have got beat by Luis. You know. But Luis ended up being. I take that back. I didn't expect Luis to beat him. You know, so but he damn sure proved that he was elite and amongst the heavyweight champs.
Yeah, and that little rematch. It's like, you know, every time they fight nowadays, it seems like there's already the rematch that's gonna happen again. Which I guess it's okay for the boxer, but as a fan, I don't want to see that all the time. You know, I want to see one fight, one winner, and then move on. You know, maybe down the line they can rematch again, but not back to back. I don't want to see that. It seems to be like the new normal.
Yeah, I forgot what channel it was on. I don't know if it was on Dancing, what channel it was, but in the welterweight division, a couple years ago, they had a tournament. It was like a 3-month tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then if you fight Joshua, you win. And if Fury beats Joshua, the next in line comes up, man. Every 3 to 4 months, you fight somebody different. The rematches, I'm okay with that if it's close, if it's a draw. But man, come on, the money grab is one thing. Taking care of the fans and seeing who's the best in the world is another.
Exactly. You know, it seems like they're trying to do what's best, but you know, it's the fans pretty much that drive it. But it seems like money's what's motivating them to do whatever they got to do. And then when that's the case, you know, that's when things can probably start going sideways. I mean, the PBC kind of stepped it up a few years ago by showing pretty good fights, you know, on Fox and their sports channel or whatever they were showing it on. But that right there, I liked it right there. You know, they had good boxers. They had Thurman coming on, Danny Garcia fighting on PBC, and I mean, those were good fights. And now it seems like, you know, maybe they might have started stepping away from that a little, because I haven't heard anything recently about them doing anything again. You know, and with everybody having their own promoter and their own promotions, it's like everybody's in disagreement about anything.
Yeah, these promoters are afraid.
That we want to see that not going to happen, probably. You know,
the reason why they're not going to happen because that promoter's afraid his fighter's going to lose, and if he loses that money.
Yeah, you know, and the fight we probably want to see is a boxing fan, straight up. I mean, I want to see Spence and Crawford. I think that's the one that needs to happen. Those are the two guys that are at the top of the game, and I think Crawford might have something for Spence. You know, as far as everybody else, you know, I want to see Fury Joshua now. You know, I kind of wanted to see Deontay Wilder versus Joshua, and where I had Wilder winning that one, I would pick him over Joshua, because I've seen Joshua get dropped, you know, time and time again.
Yeah.
And you can just see what happened when he fought Ruiz. He'd walk into a buzzsaw. So that would be a good one. Even Ruiz versus Wilder, or Fury, you know, but not Fury, Wilder again.
I think Luis would beat Wilder. I honestly think he will. I think he's fast enough. It's a big boy, but I think he's fast enough and quick on his feet. He'll avoid Devante's he's sloppy, man. I hate to say it. I love his knockout power, but the man is simply sloppy. And somebody that has great boxing. You see what Fury did to him. Just picked him apart. This Fury just couldn't stay away from that right hand.
Yeah, for sure. He just couldn't get away from it. And Fury did have something for Wilder. It looked like he was ready. He didn't try to drag it out into the 10th, 11th, and 12th rounds. He wanted to get it done early, because once you start that's when that power for Wilder can start to catch up and possibly lose you the fight if you're fighting Wilder.
Yeah, you get tired, you lose focus, and then that right hand is just as potent as it's been in the first round. It is going to be in the 12th.
That'll do it. One hand. That's what's so badass about the heavyweight division. Is one punch can end the fight.
Well, I tell you what, man, I'm gonna call you later and try to figure out why the hell you're off already, and I'm gonna take advantage of having you, my co-star, on the phone with me, and we're gonna go ahead and sign off on K.Estrada's daily podcast. And thank y'all for listening to Felony Radio. I'll let Abe go ahead and end it like he always does with something positive to say.
Hey, sun's always shining, man. Just gotta look up once in a while.
Amen, brother. I'll give you a call later on, Abe. Man, you have a blessed day, my brother.
All right, bro. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
You know what? We're signing out, y'all. Y'all have a good day.